I was just grabbing a few things at the grocery store when a man called out to me. I looked at him with a blank stare. My brain went into overdrive, trying to figure out who this familiar-looking person was. I was drawing a total blank. Then, he smiled. As soon as he smiled, it came to me and I gasped. It was Drew, a former coworker. I hadn't seen Drew in 2 years. Back then, he was obese, with a belly that hung over his belt. He laughed heartily at the look on my face. He knew exactly why I was stunned. His smile was unmistakable, but he looked like a completely different person. It was a bit awkward at first, but I had to say something. I told him straight up, I didn't recognize him. He stood there with his 6 feet 3 inches frame, beaming, and told me the number. He had lost 65 pounds over the last 2 years. My mind immediately went to the usual suspects. I asked him, how? I was expecting a story of endless, crushing cardio workouts. Maybe he'd been on some fad-starving diet. Or maybe he'd jumped on the latest craze like Ozempic. But Drew's story was different. It was simpler. And honestly, it blew my mind. Drew explained that he grew up in a house of 4 brothers. They were all football players, big guys. He was never going to be thin or slim. They were a close-knit family that centered everything around the dinner table. Eating wasn't just fuel, it was family bonding, and sometimes competition amongst the brothers. They used to see who could eat the most. Like many of us, he figured his weight was just his fat genes. He felt he was destined to be overweight because his family were big people. Then, 3 years ago, tragedy struck. His father died of a heart attack in his sleep, right after one of those big family gatherings. That loss forced Drew to look in the mirror. He realized he didn't have fat genes. He had a habit that was killing him. He and his wife decided it was time for a change. After his dad passed, they knew they had to do something. But they were overwhelmed trying to come up with the perfect diet and exercise plan. So, as a temporary fix, just something they were doing while they figured out the real plan, they made one simple rule. They didn't change what they ate, they didn't start exercising, counting calories, or keeping food journals. They made one single change. Drew explained, "We ate until we were full, and then we stopped." At first, even before noticeable weight loss, they started feeling better. Less bloating, better sleep, more energy. The weight didn't fall off overnight, but it came off steadily. Over 2 years, 65 pounds. His wife's transformation was even more dramatic. In Drew's words,
But here is the craziest part. The funny thing is that eating less wasn't even supposed to be the actual solution. After my dad passed, we knew we had to do something, but we were overwhelmed trying to come up with the perfect diet and exercise plan. So, as a temporary fix, just something we were doing while we figured out the real plan,
they discovered their weight loss plan completely by accident. I was stunned by the simplicity. Drew's story reminds us of a fundamental truth. Sometimes the first step to healthy living does not have to be complicated. It can be as simple as addressing portion size. If you know someone who needs to hear this story to motivate them, please share it. If you found Drew's story compelling, please subscribe for more content. What is your no-brainer health tip? The one simple thing that actually moved the needle for you? Let me know in the comments.